FBI Director James Comey and his lawyers are in a federal courtroom today in Alexandria, Virginia. His defense team, they're trying to have the charges against him dismissed on the grounds that they are based on a, quote, vindictive and selective prosecution. Comey is facing federal charges of false statements to Congress and obstruction of justice. CBS News legal reporter Katrina Kaufman joins me now from New York City to discuss all of this. Katrina, thank you for your time. What are we hearing so far, and how is the defense going to approach this case?
Mugo, we're learning quite a bit about what's happening in that courtroom. What Comey's lawyers are arguing is that the President of the United States has caused the executive branch to go after his perceived enemy. They say that this prosecution is because of President Trump's personal animus against James Comey, that he's also trying to punish him for using his free speech rights. And the example they've given, Mugo, is this Truth Social post from September, where Trump, they say, essentially tells Attorney General Pam Bondi to go after his enemies. That's James Comey, Letitia James, and Adam Schiff in that post. And they say that this is, quote, a crystal clear example of why Comey is only being charged because of Trump's animus. In fact, the Epstein files also came up because they said the fact that Trump has posted also instructing Pam Bondi to open an investigation into Democrats related to the Epstein files is further evidence that he is directing the Department of Justice. And they point to the fact that Attorney General Pam Bondi responded to Trump regarding that Epstein request, "Thank you, Mr. President." Now, what the prosecution says is that Comey is being prosecuted because he lied, not because there is a personal vendetta by the president against him, that a grand jury properly brought this indictment. And now, Mugo, the judge, when he said that they'll be asking more questions about that, because earlier this week, another judge found that there may have been prosecutorial misconduct in that jury room and expressed deep concern about how this indictment was secured. Another interesting thing the prosecution said is that they told the judge they are under orders from the Deputy Attorney General's office not to disclose whether career prosecutors wrote a memo recommending against indicting Comey. This was prior to interim U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan bringing an indictment to a grand jury. So a lot of arguments being made in that courtroom, and more information is still coming out.
And Katrina, we know New York Attorney General Letitia James is facing mortgage fraud charges. She's accusing the Trump administration of, quote, outrageous government conduct. What is she claiming about the charges against her in a court filing earlier this week?
So, Mugo, like James Comey, she too says that this is a purely vindictive prosecution. She says that she has stood up to the president and that he is now taking aim at her. While the allegations against Comey and James are very different, they've also created a united front. They say that the appointment of Lindsay Halligan was unlawful, that she did not even have the authority to bring these cases against them. And James similarly wants to know what happened in the grand jury room when her indictment was secured. There were allegations that with Comey's grand jury, there may have been misstatements of the law by Halligan. That was deeply concerning to the judge, and Letitia James is saying that she too wants to be able to review the grand jury materials from her case. So they're making very similar arguments. They both believe that their cases should be dismissed on the basis of vindictive prosecution, potentially selective prosecution, as you mentioned, outrageous government conduct, and potentially because the person who brought these charges, Lindsay Halligan, shouldn't be in this position at all.
All right. Katrina Kaufman, thank you so much.